What up, though? So the Nintendo Direct happened today, which is June 9th, 2026. And I think this Direct was not meant for me. I think it was meant for people who are heavy into the RPG scene. However, even though I don't think this Direct was really targeted towards me, I still thought it was a pretty decent Direct. If I was to base it off of if I was a Xenoblade fan or a Kingdom Hearts, I think this probably would be a definite A for me. But I think for me, this was a C. Not to say that it wasn't an A in general for everybody else. I mean, they did announce, like, I got my spreadsheet that I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. They did announce like 50 games, and I believe the Summerfest also announced about 50 games. It was a thick Direct. Even though I don't think it was targeted towards me, I still think it has some really good games. And I think majority of this Direct, in my opinion, and some of the other opinions that I saw online, was kind of more of a partner Direct, more than a partner showcase, more than a Nintendo Direct. But I still thought that it was good as the Switch 2 gets more involved with the third-party scene and the partner scene with the games. I think it's a good idea to bring those in to the Direct and probably just do, instead of having, like, I like the indie Directs. The indie Directs are special. I love indie games. Indie Directs are special, but I think probably moving forward, having just a Nintendo Direct and then a partner showcase Direct, I think those two need to come together. And I think that's probably what Nintendo was doing here. I don't think this was a Direct. It's more of a show, partner showcase Direct. And I think moving forward, they probably need to go on that route, especially if some of these AAA studios are going to be releasing their games on the Nintendo Switch 2 the same time they release it on their own consoles. I think that's absolutely amazing. And just get rid of the partner showcase and just have a Nintendo Direct that also includes the partners. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this. So this is my spreadsheet. So let me explain this. So it's the game. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You got the game, the release date, the platform, and here the platform is either Switch 2, or GameKey. Now, I'd probably need to add whether it's also just a coding box or just a digital format. I didn't really get into the weeds when I was putting this spreadsheet together, but maybe next time I'll keep that more in mind, get into the weeds on if it's just a digital only. I did look up some of them. Some of them I did realize that it was a GameKey, and then some is releasing on both platforms, the Switch and the Switch 2. And then you got take my money, maybe take my money and keep my money. I was thinking about adding a fourth category of it depends, because as you're gonna see in a minute as we go further down in this spreadsheet, Xenoblade Chronicles is releasing on the Switch 2, 1, 2, and 3 on a proper card. And then Xenoblade Genesis is releasing later on next year, 2027. But the fourth category is dependent upon whether I like the first game and want to continue within the series, because I have never played a Xenoblade Chronicle game ever in my life. So I want to try it out, being that I want to kind of enter into more spaces into gaming as I try to find myself in this space. I know for a fact that Metrovanias are my absolute jam, but I'm getting into the action RPGs a little more now, and so I want to kind of venture into those since now all the games are out. It's like watching a series. It's like watching a TV series. You start off with season 1, and then if you like season 1, you'll continue with the other seasons. But it's good that the other season exists, so you can kind of binge. And that's kind of like here with some of these video games. I have never played Xenoblade Chronicles, so now I can kind of binge and see if this is a series that I want to get into. So let's kick it. Well, before we kick it off, I thought that this direct was it was meh for me, but more like a C. But I know people who are heavy into Xenoblade and even Kingdom Hearts. I know they really love this, and for them it was probably like an A or a B. And this, like I said, this got 50 games. I mean, this direct was thick. Summerfest was thick. State of Play, even Xbox was thick. But if I was to rank them, obviously I'm gonna go with, well, not obviously, because you would think I would go with the Nintendo Direct as my first, since the Nintendo Switch is my main console. But I would have to say the State of Play, the PlayStation Direct, Summerfest, Xbox, and then the Nintendo Direct, in that order. And I didn't go over, as you see at the top right here. I don't know, can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. So Summerfest, State of Play. I watched the Xbox Direct or Showcase, but I didn't take any notes, because the only time I've ever played an Xbox was back when I was in the Army, and we played Rock Band with my homegirls that I served with. That's probably the only time I've ever played an Xbox was Rock Band, and that was it. My husband, on the other hand, he does have an Xbox. He loves Xbox. I think that's his main, well, for console wise, that's his main console, but he's a PC. So let's get into this spreadsheet. So first game on the list, I thought the direct coming out the gate was kind of weak. I thought that was kind of weak. The first half of it, to me, in my opinion, it was weak. However, even while saying that, the first game that they mentioned, the Rhythm Heaven Groove, releasing on July 2nd, 2026 for the Switch only. Doesn't come out on the Switch 2. Don't even know if it's going to have a Switch 2 upgrade or even come out with a proper Switch 2 card. But it's to take my money. I like these rhythm games. I like them. So for Rhythm Heaven Groove, that's to take my money. That's a definite take my money. Now, Omnimusha Way of the Sword, that releases September 25th on the Switch 2 as a proper cart, which I was very surprised, because one of the things when I was watching this direct, the main thing that just kept popping up in my head was game key card. I was like, I know they ain't gonna put Omnimusha on, or not Omni, or Onimusha. I keep saying Onimusha on a proper card. I was like, no, they ain't gonna put that on. They ain't gonna put that on a Switch 2 card. And they didn't. Correction, they did not put Onimusha Way of the Sword on a proper Switch 2 card. It is a game key. I was thinking of Lies of P when I was making this statement. So correction, Onimusha Way of the Sword is going on a game key card and not on a proper Switch 2 card. The PS5, and I'm gonna leave the Switch 2 behind, even though it is on a proper card. I really appreciate that, but I'm still getting it, just not for the Switch 2. Dragon Dogmas 2. I don't know what this game is. It's releasing on October 9th on the Switch 2. I don't know if that's a proper card or just digital or a game key. I don't know, but it is coming to the Switch 2, and that's to keep my money. Stellar Blade is releasing sometime 2026. This is already out on other platforms. It's coming to the Switch 2. Again, I don't know if that's a proper card or a game key. Depending on, Onimusha is on a proper Switch 2 card. That might get put on a proper Switch 2 card, but that's a maybe take my money. Now, where was it? I think it was Summerfest. Where did they announce it? Summerfest, the Stellar Blade Blood Rain. I don't know if that's a DLC or a new game. I can't remember, but that's a maybe take my money. And I'm thinking about getting that for the PS5. I'm thinking for that for the PS5. I don't know if I want to make the purchasing decision on the Switch 2, especially if that's a DLC and not another game. I might want to pick it up on the PS5. I'm not sure yet. So that's a maybe. Orbitals. First time I saw this game, I was like, oh yeah, my hubby and I, we can definitely get into this game. This looks like a really fun co-op game. I played with him a lot, using his Legion Gold, playing games on Steam, playing games on my PS5 and his PC. So yes, Orbitals I think is going to be an awesome game for us to play together. It releases September 3rd on the Switch 2 as a proper card. This is a definite take my money. Rayman Legends Retold, October 1st. And you can see like this little theme going on here. Like a lot of games are releasing on the Thursday. I thought that was kind of weird, kind of strange. But I've never played a Rayman game before. And this is releasing on the Switch 2 as a game key. Oh man, but this is also releasing on PS5. So I don't know. I might pick it up there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one, if I'm gonna pick it up at all. This is a keep my money. I never played a Rayman game before. I mean, back in the day, I think this came out at the same time as like Earthworm Jim and Toe Jam and Earl. Now I played those games, but I never played a Rayman game before, and I'm trying to think, do I even want to at this point? It looks good, I ain't gonna lie. I like the way it looks. I'm not liking this a game key card, but I could just get it on PS5. But who knows? As of right now, it's to keep my money. Big Walk, I don't know what the heck this is. I really don't care. Switch 2 is to keep my money. One Piece Grand Gourmet, October 23rd on the Switch 2. Don't know if it's a proper card, a digital, or a game key. But this is a keep my money. I don't really like games like this. It's one of them, I don't know, sim games or load management. Load management. I think it is like one of them load management type of games. I really don't know what kind of game it is, but I'm going through the anime right now through Netflix. But yeah, I like One Piece, but this is to keep my money. Pokemon Copia, sometime in August of this year. I think is, what is it? It's a new expansion. It's an expansion. And then it's going to have a couple of other expansions after that. I don't know if something was able to be downloaded today. I mean, I really don't follow because I don't play the game. I really don't like these type of cozy games. The cozy game that I like, that I don't know if you guys are familiar with, is what's the name of that game? Winterboro. I love that game. I love that type of code. Those are my type of cozy games right there. If you don't know what that is, definitely look it up. Winterboro is legit, but game key, and that's to keep my money. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, is it a wave or weave? Whatever it's called. September 9th. Oh, Wednesday. September 9th, Switch 2. I believe this is a proper card. I believe this is releasing on a proper card, Switch 2 card. But I've never played a Fire Emblem before, so I'm not really into it. And I don't even know if I really want to try it out, to be honest with you. So as of right now, this is to keep my money. The Ninjala 2, The Charted Planet, spring of 2027. It's coming to the Switch 2. Don't know in what capacity or what format, but that's to keep my money because I'm not really too familiar with that. That's the first time I ever heard it during this direct. And so why didn't put one out too? Like, you know, put 1 and 2 out. Shoot. Jujutsu, yep, Rumble. Survivation? Whatever. That's that Survivation. Whatever, you know what it is. Shoot. But Jujutsu, I think that's another type of anime. I've seen that before. I've heard it before, but I'm not quite sure. Sometime this year, 2026. On the Switch 2, don't know what format, but for me, it's to keep my money. Lords of the Falling 2. All of this year, Switch 2, don't know the format. Going by what Animusha, it might come to a proper card, but Did they do Lords of the Fallen 1? I didn't look that up. But this is a keep my money. And only because hubby and I have started playing the first one on his PC and on my PlayStation 5. So when it first came out, it was a little janky. It was a little weird. And we stopped playing it because we was like, ugh. It wasn't flowing right. It didn't like tickle our fancies that good. But then it got an update and we went back to it and we loved it. So we haven't finished it yet, but we love it. And Lords of the Fallen 2 looks really good. So it's to keep my money on the Switch 2, but on the PS5, I might make that purchasing decision. Lies of P Complete Edition. So this is, I looked it up, a Souls game, Souls game. I have never played a Souls game before. And I don't even know. My hubby, I got Demon Souls. Hubby said that is a good starting point for someone who has never played a Souls game before. And I'm looking at this Lies of P, the Complete Edition, on a proper Switch 2 cart. Yes. And that's another thing that makes me hopeful that Lords of the Fallen 2 is also going to be on a proper Switch 2 cart, because Lies of Peace is, and this is by I Am 8-Bit. They got like a $400. I was on their website earlier today. They got like a $400 some collector's edition or something like that. I was like, man, you crazy. If I was a Lies of P fan, I guess, shoot, that wouldn't mean nothing to me. But it comes out October 2nd. Proper Switch 2 cart. And I say, you know what? I should take my money. I'm gonna go ahead and make that purchasing decision for this. I think this already comes with the DLC. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it, especially since it's on a proper Switch 2 cart. Devil May Cry 5 Devil Hunter Edition. June. Oh, snap. I just realized that's June 23rd of this year. Game key card. And that is a keep my money. I never played a Devil May Cry game. Never played a Devil May Cry. And I didn't really care for the gameplay. So therefore, I'm going to leave it where it's at. Yeah. This game right here. This one right here. Muramasha? Revenant Blades. Early 2027. Coming to the Switch and Switch 2. Don't know if that's going to be on a proper cart, but that's a definite keep my money because I'm not too familiar with that. So I'm going to keep my money on that. Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, I do want to try this out. And I was going to try it out with the, I guess, 10 or X, the Definite Collection on that. I'm glad I waited because I do want to I like starting from the beginning on series. And so this releases July 30th on a proper Switch. All three of these are coming onto a proper Switch 2 cart. So the first one July 30th, the second one is October 1st, and then the Chronicles 3 is December 3rd. And I believe Xenoblade Chronicles 1, this is all physical releases, by the way. So July 30th is the physical release, but I believe today you can do the upgrade. So if you already bought it for the Switch, you can go on there and upgrade it to the Switch 2. Now I believe it's like $10 or something like that. So you can do that today. But the physical copies released July 30th, October 1st, and December 3rd on a proper Switch 2 cart. And this is what I was talking about, that fourth category where I was like, what was it? What did I call the fourth category? It depends. So it depends if I like, well, let me switch this around. So I'm going to say take my money on this because I'm at least going to try the first one out. Now, I've seen people who swear by part 2. They say that's their absolute favorite one in the series. And usually it's the first one. And then the sequels are the ones that's like kind of not that good. But in this case, The second one, I've heard multiple people say Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is their absolute favorite one out of the entire 3-part series. So I don't want to start off on 2 for obvious reasons, but I think I'm gonna say the first one take my money, and it's going to be a depends on the rest of the ones in the series. And then you have Xenoblade Genesis coming out sometime in 2027 on the Switch 2, and that is one of those depends, and more than likely that's going to be on a proper Switch 2 card. Sports Resort, now this is, I think, too, also on a proper Switch 2 card, October 22nd, and I really don't care for the Sports Resort. I know a lot of people was really psyched up and really doped out about it, but for me, that's to keep my money. RuneScape Dragon Wilds, I think I saw this somewhere else. Is this at the Summer Game Fest? Where did I see this else at? Where does it fall into right there? Saw Genesis, I'm definitely getting that. I'm about to play the demo for this right here. Let me see. Oh, here it goes right here. RuneScape Dragon Wilds, and I said keep my money. I said keep my money for even this Summer Game Fest. So yeah, this is let me scroll this all the way up. This is a definitely keep my money. I wasn't really too impressed with that. It's just not my cup of tea. So the Hello Kitty Party Land, October 29th, Switch 1 and Switch 2. I don't know the format for the Switch 2, but that's it. Also keep my money. Star Fox, I already bought it. I already pre-ordered it when it was $50. Yeah, because I think the digital version is $50, and I think Walmart and Amazon were matching the digital price, so I pre-ordered it for the digital price. So also they have the demo that's out today, and I downloaded it. I would definitely be playing that. I also played Star Fox. I'm gonna play it on here. So I played Star Fox on the Super NES mini console, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I tried to play it on the mini a couple of years ago, and I was like, man, this is hard as balls. I was like, man, I quit. But this time around, I got back on it. You know, I done developed a little bit of skill since then. And to be honest with you, I was feeling it. Falco, I kind of like the homie Falco. I'm kind of feeling him. So I already purchased that. Can't wait to June 25th and I'm going to release my video on what I played on that. But I already purchased that. Final Fantasy Renaissance, Resonance, October 22nd, Switch to game key card. But it's also releasing on the Switch, so you'll probably be able to just purchase on the Switch and then do that good old Switch 2 upgrade. But Square Enix, y'all got to get it together. All y'all Switch 2 games have been game key cards. Boy, swear this goddamn on flower. But Square Enix, all of y'all Switch 2 games have been game keys. What's up with that? I mean, every single last one of them, even the ones that don't make sense. Now, the ones that do make sense, and maybe this one does make sense because it is a Final Fantasy game, the remake and the rebirth does make sense. I think those are like 90 and 100 gigs easy. So those do make sense. But if it's like, what is the Adventures of Elliot? Like, what? Come on, man. And why didn't we see, well, this is a direct, I'm still looking for the Eternal Life of Goldman. Like, where y'all at? Come on. I need y'all to, that dang on demo got me hooked. I need y'all to come on out with that now. But anyways, this releasing on the Switch 1, Switch 2 as a game key. I said this maybe it'd take my money because I did play that demo for that rebirth. And oh my God, absolute cinema. I've never played a Final Fantasy game before in my life. It was so absolute cinema that I went and purchased the, you know how they got part 1 through 7 on that one anniversary disc? I went and purchased that just for the story alone. Now I know I'm not a turn-based RPGer. Matter of fact, I can't stand turn-based, but that storyline just drew me in. I wanted to go back to where it all began. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this purchase and decision. I only got it for $50 because it was on sale on Amazon. So yeah, that thing, woo, that Final Fantasy, absolute cinema. I wanted to pop me some popcorn and kick back. Man, I forgot I was playing a video game at first. It was absolute beautiful. And I mean, that freaking, I didn't even finish the whole demo. It was so long. It was so overwhelming. I was not ready for it to be that like immersive. I mean, it was, whoa. It really blew my mind, and it was too much for me. I'm gonna come back to it, but I want to purchase, what was that? The remake first, and then play the Rebirth and go that route. But yeah, man, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't expecting it to be that cinematic. I wasn't ready for that. But it is a game key, but I might make that purchasing decision. It looked good on the Switch too. Dude, it looked really good. This, I don't even know how to say this, but this coming out 2027 on the Switch 2. Don't know the format, but it's to keep my money. Dragon Quest Monsters, The Withered World, December 3rd. Switch 1, Switch 2 as a game key. I'm not into the Dragon Quest. I know it's something probably like Final Fantasy, but I'm not really into them. So that's to keep my money. Dust Bloods. We still don't have a time frame when this thing gonna release. This is supposed to be, I guess, this summer. It's supposed to be some type of closed test that they're supposed to be doing with this. But this is coming to the Switch 2. I don't know. We don't know yet if it's going to be a proper Switch 2 card. But this is a maybe. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect about this. This is a maybe. Splatoon Raiders I already bought. Already made that purchasing decision on the Switch 2 proper card, July 23rd. This was also the same as Star Fox, where Walmart and Amazon were matching the digital price. So I made that purchasing decision when it was that $10 cheaper price. Deltarune Chapter 5. This, people swear by this game. I tried to watch gameplay on this. I couldn't get into it. It just wasn't. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I didn't catch the release date for Chapter 5, but it's coming to the Switch and the Switch 2. Don't know the format for Switch 2, but for me, it's to keep my money. Metaphor. I'm not too familiar with this. This is the only game I believe that's releasing in November 12th, and I believe this game is this game already out on other platforms? I think so. I guess that's why he's like, shit, we don't even care. It's already out on other platforms. We'll finally give it to the Switch. But it's coming out on the Switch 2. Don't know if it's what format it is, but for me, it's to keep my money. Minecraft, sometime this year. Switch 2, probably gonna be on a proper card, but it's a keep my money. And then what I have highlighted here in yellow, this was part of the direct where they had a bunch of rapid fires, and I don't even know what that first game is, but majority of these rapid fires was pretty much keep my money. My husband, he does play this Warhammer on PC, but I don't like it. These other games, I'm not really familiar with any, well, except Fitness Boxing 3, and then Final Fantasy Online, no, I ain't doing that. But as far as this little rapid fire section, the only ones that really caught me was the Metal Gear Solid Collection 2, because I have Collection 1 on the Switch, but this one is coming to the Switch 2. I believe it's still got some stuff you have to download. Because I think it said you need online connection to download. That was also with the Switch 1, the Collection 1 version as well. So it is what it is. So since I had Collection 1, I said I would get Collection 2. So that was to take my money. And then the Tomb Raider 20 year celebration, which is coming out on June 9th. What is today? And I believe that's only a download. I said maybe take my money. I'm kind of on the fence about that one. And then the rest of them was a no-go, was a keep my money. Then we come to the last ones. When Kingdom Heart, I was watching, who stream was I watching? I Am Mighty Keith. His stream, when he saw that part 4, that man almost lost his mind. He almost lost his mind with that Xenoblade Chronicles. But people really love this Kingdom Hearts. I have never heard of Kingdom Hearts until I think like last year. Like I said, when I'm still figuring out where I fit in this space. Kingdom Heart 1, 2, and 3, and then you have the 1 through 3 collection. The 1 through 3 collection, I believe I just saw on Video Game Plus, the Canadian website. I think it's going for like either $75 or $80. And I was thinking, I do want to, let me put this right here, because this is one of those where I need that extra category where it depends. I need that it depends category, because I do want to try out Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people say it looked like straight balls on the Switch, on the original Switch. But with the Switch 2 upgrade, it probably could come out looking pretty legit. But I was on the fence about, should I just go ahead, since I'm already going to try out part 1, depending on what that price is, should I just say forget it and get the 1 through 3 collection on the physical collection? Or should I get just one, and then I don't know, that might be too much money depending on how much the individual ones cost versus the collection. And also too, even though it's all 4 is coming to the Switch 2, are all 4 getting a physical copy? I think I just saw, okay, hold on, let me look it up right quick. Dang, I didn't realize this was a Square Enix game. I didn't realize it was a Square Enix. And you know what that means. It is a game key card. So the only one I see on here is the collection. And I'm on Video Games Plus, the Canadian site. So they're giving you in Canadian currency. It's going for $71.64 American money. That's the conversion that they have, currency conversion. So the Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3 is on a game key for the Switch 2. Let me see if they're also releasing it on the PS5 as well. If you don't shut up, they are also going to be releasing it on the PS5. Let me see if they're doing the individual releases. No, they are not doing the individual releases. Ooh, so it might just be the collection. They're going to be doing a game key card release, and the rest of them going to just be upgrades or digital. So yeah, so that's that. Okay. Let me go to Nintendo and see if they have pricing. So the Kingdom Hearts collection digitally is $75 on Nintendo's website, but if you get it on the Video Games Plus site, it's $71 and some change. Better off getting it that way. But yeah, so the individual releases for Kingdom Hearts are going to be $40 a piece. So the Switch 2 individual Kingdom Heart releases are going to be $40. And right now, I did download the demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 plus the Remind DLC. So yeah. So it looks like the only one that's getting a physical somewhat released. Let me change this to drop down game key. So the only ones that look like it's getting a physical release is the collection, which kind of makes sense. And I mean, if you spend $40, you might as well, and you in the event I do like it, I would have wasted money. So I might as well just go ahead and get the collection, buy the game key card and get the collection that way, instead of just buying one. And if I do like it, then I'm just SOL. So let's change that to this one. So we're going to change the Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3 collection to take my money, and the rest of them, matter of fact, I'm just going to take them off of here. It's going to be, well, I'm going to have them all. What's going to be keep my money on those. Take my money on this one because it's actually coming out on a physical release. Okay. But all three of those, well, all four actually are releasing October 8th. And then you have Kingdom Hearts 4, which we don't quite have a release date. And looking at the track record of Square Enix, it's going to be a possible, no, it's not a possible, it's going to be a game key. So, and that's a maybe if I like the Kingdom Hearts series. But Kingdom Hearts 4, it did look good. I ain't gonna lie. It looked really good. I really liked the gameplay, and it looked like something I would get into. And last but not least, the goddamn Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's coming out sometime this year, and on the Switch too, more than likely on a proper card, and that's a definite take my money. I started playing Breath of the Wild last year and still got to finish it, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I do have Tears of the Kingdom. My hubby bought that for me for my birthday, the Switch 2 editions, and yeah, definitely like Zelda, and definitely going to play this. I wish though, and I think this is everybody's sentiment, I wish they would have shown us some goddamn gameplay. I mean, we got gameplay from Kingdom Hearts 4 for crying out loud. You couldn't give us a little snippet of some exploration at least of Ocarina of Time? I mean, good night. But I think, you know, we've been waiting for what people say, like 9 months for this direct and for this to come showing off, and then it's like you don't give no gameplay. And I think the reason why people were looking for gameplay for the Ocarina of Time, I never played Ocarina of Time before in my life, just to be clear, but let me go back to big screen. So I think the reason why people were looking for some type of gameplay from the Ocarina of Time is because of the leaks. We kind of already knew that it was coming based on one of the leakers being a pretty reliable source for leaks. Based on that, we were looking for some more gameplay. We were looking for some gameplay because we pretty much already knew it was coming. And I think a lot of people were disappointed that it wasn't gameplay, because the reveal was supposed to be the main thing, and that would have sufficed if we didn't know it was already coming. But since everybody already knew that it was coming, we were expecting more for the reveal. But Nintendo is like, no, y'all weren't supposed to know it was coming beforehand, so we're not going to give you more than what you already were deserving. You deserve the reveal. You deserve to know it was coming. You deserve to know it was coming sometime in 2026. However, that's all you were supposed to know. So sometimes, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna speak for myself as far as the leaks go. And this is just not with video games. This is also too, because, you know, I'm an Apple fangirl. I have a Mac. I'm a Mac. My husband's a PC. I have an iPhone. I have an iPad. I'm in the ecosystem. And even with those leaks, I'm getting tired of them. I'm getting tired of the leaks. It is what it is. And sometimes, I just wish some of the leakers would, like, if you're going to leak something, hold that leak. Why you didn't leak Kingdom Hearts? Leak Kingdom Hearts. Leak that. Leak. What was the other one? What was the other one everybody was anticipating? What was it called? I think it was the sports one. Leak the sports resort one. Like, the Star Fox was leaked. Like, hold that one back. Leak the Final Fantasy one or something like that. Hold the other ones back. I mean, man. But the Ocarina of Time, I think people was really looking for some gameplay because they already knew it was coming. So there was anticipation of the gameplay when they was only supposed to get the reveal. And I think that's why a lot of people were just deflated, myself included, at the end, because we knew it was coming, but we wanted more because we already knew what was to come. But we weren't supposed to know. We weren't in the know. So therefore, the surprise, the reveal. I'm gonna call you right back. The surprise, the reveal was supposed to be that. And that would have sufficed if we didn't get those leaks. Downtown in those comments is the way to my love, and while you down there, click that like button and let's have a conversation. What was your overall thought process about the Nintendo Direct? Heck, shoot, the Summer Game Fest, and the State of Play. My ranking is State of Play, Summer Game Fest, Xbox, and then the Direct, then the Nintendo Direct. And like I said, I think moving forward, the Directs are going to be, well, in my opinion, are going to be a partner showcase and a Nintendo Direct fusion. I think that's the smart move moving forward, now that a lot of these AAA studios are releasing their games with the Switch literally at the same time as they do on their other platforms. And it's not taking a whole nother year or two for it to come to the Nintendo platform. So I think moving forward, we're going to have more Directs that's going to be a fusion of a partner showcase and a Direct. I think that's a smart thing to do. 50 games, that's a lot of games. Like I said, Summerfest had 50 games. State of Play had, how many games State of Play had? State of Play had 50 games. Oh, how many Summerfest games had? Yeah, they had 52 games on the Summerfest. So it was a lot of games announced. All of these Directs, I mean, June was thick. I mean, I think Xbox, I don't know if Xbox had 50 games, but they had a lot of games too. June was thick with a lot of good game announcements. Was thick with it. And I think that the indie showcase is going to stay the same. I think that should stay the same. I think that I love those indie games. I think that has its own place, separate from the Direct and obviously the showcase, the partner showcase. But I think the Direct now and the partner showcases now are kind of like one and the same. And moving forward, I think they need to be more like this Direct that was today. But downtown in those comments, let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for supporting your girl. Don't forget your keys, your wallet, and your phone on your way out. Now let me call my mama back.